Hey, we're back. Oh, look, it's Pumpkin Nemo. Hey, hello. Welcome to another episode of Carvers and Creators, a weekly demonstration and discussion with sculptors, carvers, and multi-talented artists from around the world. If you're a fan of the show and you like what we do, make sure you give us a like and a follow on the platform you're watching us on. And let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Let's meet the artists, shall we? First, he's a legendary creature effects fabricator and monster maker. It's the foam fabber himself, Mr. Ted Haynes.
How you doing, all? Hello.
Good to see you, Ted.
Good to be seen.
He is an artist and sculptor from Tucson, Arizona, and a Halloween Wars finalist. It's Matt Harper.
Hi, Matt. Hello, Matt Harper.
Hey, guys. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday to you. My name is Paul Dever. I'm an artist and sculptor from Boston, Massachusetts. And joining us again for time 2 tonight is a creative designer, illustrator, writer, and director. His lengthy client list includes The Simpsons, What We Do in the Shadows, and Faith No More, to name a few. He's also working with the BBC on shows like Doctor Who, Top Gear, and The EastEnders, one of my favorite soap operas from the other side of the pond. Joining us tonight from London, England, we welcome back Douggy Pledger.
Hello, Douggy.
Hello.
Nice to see you, Douggy. Thanks for joining us. We know it's late over there.
That's fine. That's good.
Yeah, just turned into tomorrow over there. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, happy tomorrow. He's in the future as well. So, I don't know if you remember the show from last time or not. Oh, say again, Ted.
I was going to say, and Douggy might pass out from cold medication.
Yeah, I'm dosed up. Yeah, but I'll yeah.
Nice. That and a little bit of whiskey. We could get all the secrets out of him.
That's right.
He just leans forward into the camera. We'll whisper for the rest of the show if that happens. We don't want to wake you up if you do that.
No.
Yeah, you wake my kids up and they'll just come down here and just see me collapse with you.
That's worse than being sick. The kiddos. All right, so if you remember from last time how the show goes, each week we're going to spin a wheel to which we have to take a carving challenge. Last week's challenge was Terrified Viking. Interesting. Interesting. Once they get headgear, it gets real interesting. Nice job on this one, Maddie.
This one
I like the braids on the sides there.
Little mustache braids.
Yeah.
He's quite the Viking. The fun challenge for me was I wanted to make his hat like a skew a little bit, so it's so I tried to have it like tilting on his head. That was a fun little challenge, but it was fun.
And the plaits in his mustache.
Yes.
That's some time-consuming shit right there.
Yeah, that part wasn't very much fun. Yeah.
Was the hat? It's the same part of the squash, and then you went around it with another.
Yeah. So I did, the one thing that was glued on were the horns and the ears. I put on some hair. I took some like strings of it as you peel away, and then you jam it up underneath where I carved under the helmet. But yeah, all that was all one piece.
Wow,
that's great, man.
Yeah,
good job. Terrified was a little bit hotter of an expression to kind of.
I know, and it was
everything's lifted, so it's you know what I mean. It's not like a nice, easy pursed face where you just dig in and you get shadow. Yeah, you can really see the imperfections when you're raising the brow.
Yeah, and big, wide open eyes, wide open mouth.
Like what do you do with the eyelids? Those things are going to be sucked back in too.
Yeah.
No, you nailed it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Such a pro.
And there's your dude. How did you think to do the chainmail priest? That was brilliant.
I was out of ideas.
Oh,
so I had to do something. No, I just took one of the little dowels, the brass rods we have for the eyes and any round shape.
Yeah.
And I just started poking through. It was like making Swiss cheese.
Oh, that's so cool.
Just figured if the light hit it, it would look all right.
Oh yeah, it certainly it says it, and then of course you got the wrinkles under the eye. I mean, I think you nailed the eyes. Those are stellar.
Thank you. I gotta chill out on the wrinkles. I think everything I carve now looks like it's got a methamphetamine problem. It hasn't slept in weeks.
Take one of those teeth out. You got a couple missing teeth.
Exactly.
Right, get a couple of scabs on his face.
Yeah, just take the helmet off, and this guy he's a meth head. Yeah.
If I take the helmet off and you ring a doorbell, that's a meth head.
Yeah, exactly.
Who the hell's out there? But yeah, that was a fun challenge. I think Terry chose. I think Terry chose Viking, right?
He did.
Yeah. Choice. Yeah. So thank you, Terry.
Yeah.
Wonderful job. So with that, I mean, Ted's very busy man.
I missed 90% of that show too. So
well, because of the winds, the damn California.
I could
wind.
not log in, so I missed that show.
But you do. But I'd like you to hold up again your 3D print.
So I didn't do the carve from last week just because I've been super busy, but I did do some 3D prints. So there's hey, look at that, this fellow right behind me here.
Oh,
there he is.
Yeah, did a scan and a 3D print of him. Just came off the printer today, and then my little
aquatic.
So cool.
Aquatic Confused, is that what that was?
Yeah.
So, and that came out really good. Just that little fin didn't quite pick up on the scan, but I'll clean that up in ZBrush. But this is just the raw scan, so it printed pretty good for not being fiddled with in ZBrush or anything. So I love
especially
the
stuff like the fins. The fins in the stem is usually where like my printer goes haywire. Just loses tracking, and then you got to back up.
My stuff's been printing out well. So
really, yes. Well, that one you're holding in your left hand is the OG. That's the original.
The OG pumpkin, yeah.
The OG. The one that stabs me in the hand every time I move it. I love it.
Don't like a baseball you're thinking of.
Like that's a mace. If you throw a chain on that, that's actually a weapon.
I'll have one cast in pewter.
$1 million idea. I'm just saying. All right. So now we've all shown what we've been doing. So now let me introduce you to the fourth member of Carvers and Creators, responsible for our carving challenge tonight. It's the wheel, aka the center spinner, and I'm going to show it to you right now.
All right, let's take a look.
Let's do it, shall we? All right. The wheel. Douggy, remember the wheel? Okay, here we go. So we're going to spin it twice. The first spin will be the character that we have to try and carve. The second spin will be the emotion. And it's just dawned on me that I put a bunch of different stuff on there from last week that I didn't want to carve, and it's still there. It didn't change. Shit. All right, so this week's choices are Skull, Split Face, Guest Choice, World of Henson, Giant, Viking, From Outer Space, Baby, Bug, or Goblin. Ted, you got any extra fiberglass I could dive into with you, and so I can't carve this week?
I hate them
Got
all.
a lot right over here. Come on out.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Second spin will be Exhausted, Distinguished, Guest Choice once again, so have one ready. Crazy, Jolly, Excited, Furious, Sad, Giddy, or Terrified. All of those things I am right now. Okay, here we go. Spin number one. World of Henson.
Oh,
Interesting.
So that would be anything that would come out of that vast universe of Henson. So, Douggy, I'm going to need you to hold Grover up for the next 45 minutes, please.
yeah.
I can copy something. See, that's a good one and a tough one too, because I have one in mind that I'd love to do, but you need a pumpkin for it. So, but our Henson-y character will be. There he is. There's Mr. Grover. Oh, guest choice, Doug. You get to choose what the emotion is. Oh,
No.
so Grovery. I'll tell you what. There's a monster at the end of this carve.
Yeah.
So what
anything you want emotion wise, it can be from the wheel, it can be from top of your head. And you, as somebody that's super creative and loves emotions, you might have a couple of good ones.
I
love it. The moment you get put on the spot is when everything goes out the window, doesn't it?
ashamed.
Ashamed. I love it. First of all, that's going on the wheel after this, because that's a really good emotion that I never think of.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm putting that on.
Ted, you picked the best week to be busy. An ashamed Henson-inspired carving.
Oh my gosh.
Something. What? Internet. I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Dean, what's going on? All right, so we
okay.
We've got our marching orders, and before we start, it's tradition here on the show. Dougie, you remember that we like to tell everybody what our carving oil is, or our drink of choice for the evening, to loosen the mind and the body, to allow us to do such silly things like carve an ashamed Jim Henson character.
Oh my God.
I keep going to say Muppet because that's where my brain goes. But then he's got such a, there's
a lot of hints.
So many movies and crazy creatures.
You can have a Skeksis, who's ashamed.
Well, there you go. You just locked yourself in. You'll never get that out of your head. You got a Skeksy head. Look at he does. Damn it. And now you got it in my head, and I know I can't do a Skeksy. So
you could have it.
Oh, Ted's got a squash.
Yep.
He's gonna surprise us. All right, so Matt, we're gonna start with you because you're the guy full of ideas.
Oh yeah, me, of course. Yeah. Let's blow me up. I got Monsterpalooza on the mind. So our drink of choice while we're there is 805s, and I got a giant case of them. Paul's coming out here in a couple weeks with the family, and so you got to help me put a huge dent in these. I might get more. Who knows? But I got 805. California is like the best stuff.
That's my area code for the last year or so.
Is it really? The 805?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Somebody had to explain that to me when we were out there. Like, yeah, 805. It's just an area code. I'm like, huh, okay.
Central idea.
Yeah.
Central
603 out here and 617.
What are you having?
What do you got, Teddy?
Oh, well, I'm working, and I'm in the west coast of the U.S. here, so I got to keep it soberish. So established back in 1885, I'm going with a Dr. Pepper.
Oh,
so it'll keep me awake, and so I'm gonna tag team between my my Earl Grey tea and my Dr. Pepper. So
very good. Well,
nice.
It's safety first. This for whatever reason. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to Dougie. What are you having tonight? I know you're under the weather a little bit, and it's so
it might finish me off, but yeah,
it's gonna go with an Italian brew. Okay.
Yeah, and they say vitamin A. Vitamin A helps a cold.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
It makes you forget about it anyway.
I've just finished a Lemsip, so I've sort of been behaving myself, but
there we go. Okay. That'd be a good topper.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to go with Kushnock Brewing out of Maine. This is the Yankee Racers. It's an India Pale Ale. I think it's like 5 or 6%. It's got a cool can. Do it on a car.
That's cool.
If it's got a go-kart in it, it's for me. Kushnock's had some really good beer, so that's
can't go wrong. Well, cheers, guys. Well,
cheers, everybody.
Clink.
Keep going the wrong side. Thank you for joining us again, Dougie. We appreciate you jumping 6 and 7 hours ahead.
Yeah, this is nuts.
This one.
Yeah,
6 hours.
So for the viewers out there, we've got a couple of fun things tonight that we don't usually have, including, and maybe we start with one because I think it's a lot of fun to kind of ground people on what our guest tonight has the capability of doing. And I think it'd be fun to maybe jump in with a video, which we don't usually start with, but we're going to do that now. A quick little video showing, highlighting some of Dougie's fun art. Hang on, here we go.
That's amazing.
Say, have you kissed him yet? As if he'd tear my face off.
Barbecue duck bollocks. I'll give him a go.
I'm hungry.
I bought this last week. It stopped wriggling.
Look, you shaved it, so.
I thought you wouldn't notice.
I hope you shaved it.
By the way, that's a snippet. But I think that thing's quite a bit longer, Dougie. If I
it's
recall,
about 6 minutes. That one, yeah.
We did 30 seconds. So I mean, this will give you, and then it gets funnier. I mean, the thing you do that I always love is that again a huge fan, and I suggest everyone watching tonight to go and just check his stuff out. But is the humor you weave into it, like you know the voices, everything else. It's just it's really good. So I'm sure that's a big part of what you do when you're creating, right? You start laughing about something and then
I mean, all this AI stuff is just so laughable and sort of terrible that it's, you know, it has to be silly. I mean, if you start taking it seriously and start thinking that what you're doing is, you know, of some greatness, then it all starts to fall apart, I think. So yeah, I think you've got to lean into the sort of nonsense of it all.
Oh, I love it.
But you have such a great sense of humor that you could turn down the volume on just about anything, any TV show, and if you were overdubbing it, you'd laugh your ass off because I mean, you have your hand in so many different areas of the creative process and in the entertainment industry that you must have material coming at you left and right, and just no lack for inspiration with the job that you do.
I'm just glad I watched that right before dinner.
I was saying to him earlier, the sound alone nauseates me in the background.
Oh, we've got more video clips for you, Ted. So don't worry.
Yeah, that's all thanks down. That's all down to my friend Mark, who goes by the name of Aussie Miso, and he I do with the I deal with the edits and everything, and I send it over to him and just ask him to make it squelchy and horrible and disgusting, and he sits there and he finds all sorts of like the most weirdest sound,
nasty. Yeah,
but
like
sometimes it's, you know, with the Foley artists, they tend to just find something that sounds like it could be just like a I don't know, scooping a jelly out of a plastic cup, and then put it into someone's, you know, someone digging their fingers through a brain, and then it's like, oh, okay, that's you know, it's as simple as that. But it's those really sort of nasty.
I don't know how you find time to do all these different things like this. I love your style of illustration. It just screams Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, that's a really old one. That one, I think I've
a good one though.
The background from somewhere else, but
Now, is this a lot of these early pieces here, Dougie? Are those that looked like cell animation at first? That second one.
That one's not. No, but I did. I used to when I was very young. I used to love going into the animation art galleries and seeing the old original cells. So I used to buy boxes of acetate and paint I used to draw in reverse and then paint in reverse and flip it over and do like a nice airbrush background, and so it looked like a cell, right, even though entirely pointless. But I just like that sort of look where you got like a tiny little shadow between the two, you know, if you've got a few layers in between. And I used to do loads of those, and it was really quite time consuming. But my dad's a wildlife artist, and I used to use his airbrush and use all his paints. But since about, I don't know, late 90s, early 2000s, we got a computer, and I started doing things digitally. But this one here and a lot of the other illustrations, I draw by hand and then scan in the black and white line work and then color it in on Photoshop. So I didn't have to I didn't have to muck about with paints and stuff. But occasionally I'll do it.
Is that the same process for, because I think we talked briefly about this. I don't know if it was just coming out last time we talked to you, but is this some of the same method you use for doing your illustrations in the book like this?
This book here is my wife Caroline. She paints all the backgrounds, and I do the cartoon characters, so that cat and the pigeon. So we did a few of these books. There was about a little kitten that travels around the world, and so we wrote the story together. So it'd be like, oh, okay, this one's a double-page spread of Trafalgar Square. So we kind of mapped it out and said, oh, okay, that goes there and that goes there. And we went to London and we took a load of photographs in the correct, in the positions that we wanted to have them as for her to use as reference. And then that's how we did it. We did 3 of those books. There's one where he goes to, that's the first one's London, then he goes to Paris, then he goes to New York.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. So that was a complete departure from my usual
I'd say
gravity. Yeah. It's all very nice and cute and charming. And
that's the setup, Dougie. I figured we'd start soft and then just go
Go to the other.
We'll get to the depravity. Don't worry. Yeah.
And then go off the rails, right?
Oh yeah. I love everything about this one too. Like if you look behind George, all the things going on in the background are just fantastic.
Have you seen the? You've seen the video?
Mm-hmm.
I have not.
No. Oh, it's the best.
What?
It's I've got my mind set on you, and he's sitting in an armchair in a study, and there's all this madness going on around him. There's like puppets hanging from the wall, and they're all singing and stuff. And I had to watch the video about 300 times to try and get every single little,
It is gonna take money, like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I thought there was a video animated. I thought you were going to.
I've seen the original video, but that's I thought Dougie was asking. It's like you had made a video based.
Oh
on...
no, God, no.
Okay.
The music.
How many hours are in a day in London? Like you have more hours than humans.
They have like 30 something. It's metric.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, now you get the song is stuck in my head, and B,
exactly.
I'm obsessed with watching the video as soon as this is
It's
done.
not a bad one to have stuck in your head.
It's a great.
No, it is. It is. It's like a brain worm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of Ren and Stimpy, this like comes right out of that. I mean, we talked before the show started. We talked about our mutual love for Ren and Stimpy, and like how that was like life altering for when I was in college and after, like how cool that show was, and I think that's what spawned like I think some of the same creators went to do SpongeBob and all this other stuff, and like that when they did the close-ups on people and like you see the hairs and the warts and the other, it was like the best part. And like you see a squashed out cigarette, or you see like all this, the scars and the stitches, and it's like, and that's what I immediately saw. I was like, oh my god, this is Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, it's the best.
Basket full of brains, and then so good. And you have
what was this for?
It wasn't for anything.
You have a whole series at Disney, a Frisney series, right?
Yeah.
Why did you do this? What was this for?
Why?
Oh my god!
There's a plastic bag. Yeah, there you go. He's so pretty, Oliver.
It's a really fun snowman.
Yeah. I want this as a coloring book for my girls. So that'd be really good.
I'd love to see that as a sculpture. Actually, it's just
that would be a bugger to print.
It would be.
Absolutely.
All those
That's a fridge magnet if I ever saw one.
I'm on it.
I'll have to. I'll go back home to Wisconsin next winter and sculpt that in snow.
Yeah.
It's just I like the dimension of it. The seeing through the mouth and all the teeth with the sticks like that. It's really neat piece.
Oh, thank you.
It is. Yeah, and see, that's the thing. I think we're going to get to some of the depravity in a minute, certainly. But when I look at this kind of thing, I mean, it just it shows the artist in you, and maybe it's this kind of detail. I think we've got one picture that kind of shows some of the absolute insane detail. I don't know if that's from the same painting, even is it? Or
that's a different one, but yeah, it's the same style, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, do you have to crawl inside your head for a little while and imagine? Like...
No, it's just I was just kind of a doodle, really. It's I start off with a sort of rough shape, and then pencil in a few lines so it's sort of symmetrical eventually, and then just go to town on it. And but I haven't done one of these for, I think the last one I did was the next picture, but that was about 3 years ago. But
was that right?
Yeah, I've got sort of on and off back problems, so it's it really hurts when I'm sat down for a long time, crouched over, drawing. But
now is that a piece that you pick up for a little bit and then put away for weeks on end and come back?
Oh no, I did that from start to finish. I mean, I was doing it
through.
Yeah, I'm not full time because I work full time, but it was every time I got a spare bit of time in the evenings, I would go back to the.
That's what I was wondering, if it wasn't like a dedicated, like you got up in the morning and you worked 8 hours on that piece.
Oh no, nothing like that. No.
Okay, yeah, because it just feels like that would be such a great piece to just, it's like your mind goes blank from something else you're supposed to be doing. It's like, let me turn to this because I have about 1.5 million more lines to draw.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, and it's like one of those great pieces that feels like you could just keep working it and keep moving out and just keep your brain busy.
Yeah, because it was you do with these particular ones, it's because there's so many of the lines sort of overlap other lines. You tend to start. You might do a few sort of squiddy little bits that go down, and then you think, oh, okay, and I've got to fill in the stuff behind that. So your brain's just, even though it looks, eventually it just looks like a bit of a mess, but when you're doing it, it's almost like doing a jigsaw puzzle. It's like, okay, that bit fits there, and then that bit fits there, and I just find the fun in that doing
process.
That.
I just found it too. It's like it just went into my head, but there's no way this is like a proper, like a maze, is it? These don't connect, and like you can find your way out. It's
but there is bits that run all the way through. There are like loops and stuff that go from like the top to the bottom and stuff. So it's I did that one. Those last two ones, I didn't make any mistakes. But when I first started doing these, it was because I do them in pen, and sometimes you might cross over a line, or the nib would leak a bit, and you just be like, oh, I've just. There's a few of these that I've just destroyed halfway through. It's just like, this,
That's
this would be a hell of a. Speaking of a maze, let's make this into like a child's, like a placemat at a Denny's, like a restaurant.
It's like asylum.
Start to finish, you have to go.
Yeah. You get a free Sunday if you can find your way out from the center.
Exactly, and I think you're talking about work. And I look at this one, the common thread being that you've got the same kind of fun. I mean, I've watched this episode countless times when squishy. They're all tripping on the full on, the hyper squishy that they, which is awesome. But this immediately says that they're tripping, like without even saying it. So great.
And I think the last photo proved that Douggy does too.
Yeah, clearly.
With the lines.
So good.
It's amazing. I love it. Such a good cover. Now, is that kind of the same style, Douggy? Like, is that one sketched out too? In that
this one here. Oh, which one? This one here.
Yeah.
With all these sort of squiggly ones, I'll do I'll do the sort of rough outline in pencil, and then I'll just do it in pen and pray that I don't mess it up.
Very cool, man. It's such a it looks impossible. This is what it looks like.
It does.
Yeah, this one's. I think this one's probably. I can't remember. I think I did two pages and then put them together in Photoshop. But yeah, God, I can't remember. That was a while ago now. That one, like 20 years ago, maybe 15 years ago.
And the Simpsons is still on.
Yeah.
What was this piece done for? Was this just for yourself, or was it a commissioned piece?
No, I did it. I just did it for the sake of it. And then one of the guys from Bongo Comics, Simpsons Comics, asked if they could use it in their comic, and of course I said yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. So they paid me for that, and
great.
It came out in their version and the UK version, which is a slightly bigger version of the American comic.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but that was a nice, unexpected.
Yeah, it's nice when it goes from a personal piece to a paid piece of artwork.
Yeah, no, it was a nice,
Speaking of artwork,
yes,
this is Douggy's book, and I'm a proud owner. I got myself a copy. It is the most disturbingly fun thing you'll go through. We've got lots of pictures to show you from it, but certainly worth the purchase price. It's so much fun, and it's thick and heavy. This is a substantial book, and it's got all kinds of cool stuff. If you order it, it's got all kinds of cool additional gimmies that come with it, including a poster, a whole bunch of other really awesome stuff, like these. What are these called? Oh, here's a. What do you? Is this another? Yeah, comic within it, right?
Yeah, that's an actual. That's not AI. That's a stop motion.
Yeah, this is yours. Yeah,
little models that I made and turned into a comic. That was a long time ago as well. That one, but I had it sort of spare, so I thought it'd be a nice added bonus for the book because it was sort of like similar sensibility of the ugliness.
Yes, ugliness and cute. Yeah. And of course, there's this one I don't have. But tell us about this book.
Yeah.
That was the first one, and that was at the very beginnings of the very beginnings of the AI. What do you call it? AI imagery. When Midjourney first started, there was a whole bunch of us doing it. There wasn't that many people doing it. There's probably only maybe 100 people or so, maybe a little bit more. I don't know, but it wasn't many. And we were just testing it. And there was me. There was a guy called Scott Wetterschneider, and I, he's a great artist outside of all this, but he got me in, and we were doing lots of horrible monsters and gruesome stuff, and we kept getting told not to, and we kept going back to it and doing it and getting away with it just about, and this is just a big collection of all of those very early AI imagery. I mean, which obviously just became immediately outdated.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Every day you do it.
Right? The next day it looked 200 times better.
Who was asking you not to do monsters or?
The guy who runs Midjourney, who was I don't think you can probably get in touch with him now. He's probably like sitting, swimming in a swimming pool full of money.
Yeah.
So how was it that you got hooked up with the guy who created that? So basically, you were beta testing it, or?
Yeah, we were testing it, and that went on for, I can't even remember how long it went on for, but we were mucking around with it, and gradually as the sort of months progressed, they would let in more people, and then it snowballed into what it is now, which is just a free for all.
Right. And you know what? This might be another. What do you think, Paul? Should we throw the other video up? Because we're going to get to a ton of cool stuff. We've got a lot of slides to get to, including this is some of the stuff from. I think this is from your. This is wrong in the head. I think this.
Yeah. This is in there.
Okay, because this is all about Muckies. Yeah.
Well, the Mucky Awards.
Yeah,
that's another one that is so funny from start to finish with the things that come out of their mouths.
Yeah. All right. So
what are you wearing? My last victim.
We'll throw that up because it is so damn funny. All right. This is a kind of the 3D.
Actually, let Douggy explain it. What
Please do. Awards? Tell us about the Mucky Awards before we put it up.
I did that. I did the supermarket one first, but then I thought, the Oscars were coming up, and I thought, let's try and quickly do one before then. And I think it was about 2 weeks. So I just kind of really rushed it, and it sort of shows in places because it is a bit of a tangle, but it's just a sort of the preamble and event of an awards ceremony attended by many horrible freaks and monsters and ghouls
all
and
the
ghosts.
best people in Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's a good explanation, actually.
All right, here we go. Here's a little show of the Muckies.
It's the Rotten Roundup! Welcome to the Rotten Roundup. Today we'll be reporting on the ugliest movie awards ceremony, the Monkey Awards. And it looks like things are already underway. Let's go live to our correspondent Melvin and see just what's happening there. Melvin! Yes, we are live at the Mankey Awards, and everyone has started to arrive. As you can see, Putridina in our beautifully stained dress. The Cadaver Brothers, oh my goodness, they're all out today.
Fuck off. Help me.
Who are you wearing? My last victim.
You look familiar. We did that graveyard film together, didn't we?
Probably.
My last victim.
We did the graveyard scene together. Yeah, I love that.
Now, so I have a question about that. Like, how going from a photo that takes time to develop to get it to how you want it to look, how long does it take to get something animated to get even remotely usable?
Not that long if you get lucky, but you get the way I do it. I mean, there's probably like a bunch of 16-year-olds that know how to do it miles better than I can, but how I've sort of figured out how to do it is to get the picture created in Mid-Journey, how you want it to look, then go into Photoshop and then get the composition right, and then get put in some text or whatever you want in there to get the shot to look right, and then put it through another AI program called Pika Labs, which will animate that image.
Okay.
And the animation is it could be anything. You could be someone just talking, or it could be like a hand could go up, or there could be a head turn or something. But every time you generate an animation from the image, it's always different. It might be similar-ish, but it's always different. So each image I'll do, I don't know, 10, 15 times. So I've got a whole bunch of variations. And sometimes when I'm editing, you can stitch a few together because they're only about 2 seconds long. And sometimes you might only get 1 second of usable footage from a take, shall we say. And so you end up having to go into Premiere and After Effects and then stitching all these bits and pieces together. So you might think, oh, okay, you've got like a head turn that looks all right, and you've got a hand coming up, or you've got I don't know, something going on in the background, and then you end up having to make a composite of all of these different things for the shot to work. And then you have to, because they're only 2 seconds long, you have to sometimes you have to loop them or play them backwards, and it's just a real trial and error process of seeing what works and what doesn't work. Half the time it doesn't work. You put the image in and you do all these animations, and you think, oh god, it just looks crap. It's just lose it, and then try a different one from a different angle or whatever. And they come out so small as well, the picture, so you have to blow them up. And then what I tend to do is I blur them and then add grain and then color correct them and all this kind of business. So there's doing all that is there's a lot of dog work involved in getting the clip to work, and then you move on to the next one. It's okay, and then the next one's got to sort of slightly match up to the previous one in terms of like lighting and the color and the quality, I guess. So it's I mean, it's all good fun, but it's, I don't know.
Is the you talked about after you go Mid-Journey, that other AI like animated one, are you also giving that thing direction the way you would at Mid-Journey? Like, are you saying I want to have a hand move this way, or is it just
you can't, you can't really. You can do camera movements. You can sort of say you want cameras to pan and track and all this kind of stuff, but I don't usually do that. I usually do that within the edit. If I do want to do a zoom or something, I'll just I'll just push in or out with the in After Effects. But yeah, you can, or you can go into the Pika Labs or one of those similar programs and just type in stuff from scratch with no image as part of the prompt. So you could just type in and say, oh yeah, Dracula sitting on a surfboard drinking a, whatever it is. But then the clips are so varied and so sort of freaky, nothing joins together. It just looks like a what's his name, Bruce Bickford animation. It's sort of all over the place. It's just mad. But I mean, that would look great, but then after a few after 10 seconds, you soon get fed up of it.
Yeah.
So it's trying to get the correct. It's trying to get the. It's as if you're making the film. Really, you want like an overhead shot or a close up, and you want all these things to sort of spell out a story. And
right.
But it is
you've
good
got it in your head the way you want it to look. It's just getting it to.
Yeah, and when you're editing it, you're I am. When I'm editing it, you're. I'm still making these clips whilst I'm editing because I know you tend to sort of figure out what you're missing when you're editing it, and you've got all these weird muddled up clips that you've made, and then you're putting them into a timeline. You're thinking, oh, okay, I need a close up of some theater door opening or an overhead shot of a building or a car driving past or whatever. So you keep constantly dipping in and out of it, and yeah, it's good. It really it's fun. It keeps you on your toes in terms of.
Where is your the dialogue and the all of that coming from? Is that something that you write and you're interjecting that into there? And I'm assuming that maybe you're doing voices and friends or colleagues are doing voices.
Yeah, I'm doing most of the voices. I did all the voices on the Mankey Awards, and on the Vomco one is set in a supermarket. My friends Nina Dutton, Paul Putner, who's a famous comedian over here in the UK, and Claire Sturgis, who's my sound guy's partner, who's a radio presenter. She does the announcements on the
loudspeaker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so she does all those. So it's but yeah, we're just mucking about and recording. I'm just sitting here with my laptop, recording it into the laptop, and then editing it into the. So it's not far from professional on my part, anyway.
Speaking of professional, we got the monkeys, which is, and I think we've got a few shots of every one of these are more disturbing than the next when it comes to what these when it comes to the actual food and then how it's prepared in the background, which are even better.
I wish we could read them. I wish that the ability to zoom in was there.
Oh, it's all on my website. You can
it's so good.
You can lose a year or 10 seconds on that website.
Yeah, I lost I lost an hour the other day, and then I lost about an hour and a half today just reading them because I was just pissing my pants laughing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So well thought out. Do you now? So you obviously must compile all the photos and do all the work to get it to look even viewable, and then you look at a photo and say, "Oh, this would be funny."
Yeah.
Wow. That's great. That's fun. That to me sounds very fun. Except for the part that you have to, build the photos. It's so gross.
It is. It's so gross.
I don't even want to eat off a food truck anymore after just looking at that.
Yeah, but the one thing you do really well too is like you show like the back, the kitchen, and it's these grotesque creatures like either being boiled or cooked or making the food or whatever, but they're in the midst of this probably the hellscape of a kitchen that you just can't even imagine in your wildest dreams, and you like look at it, you're like, oh, this is hard to even, because if you haven't eaten, then you're certainly not hungry after watching this.
No, not even a little.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a good diet book, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like watching Hoarders, right during dinner. You can't.
Right, or intervention,
right? Yeah, while you're drinking a beer. Yeah.
But Dougie, if you don't mind me asking, because I watched a little bit of the first show that you were on with the guys, and I certainly wasn't there, and I hadn't seen that, so I watched that today actually. But as far as like somebody who's never touched AI before, how do you actually go about like an image like this? How do you go about creating the image? And are there pieces of artwork that you're doing and you're interjecting into this, or how are the images mined, or where do they come from?
I don't know how I can answer that, but there's these ones here are I mean, these are kind of just straight images from the program itself. So if you you type in, well, I can't remember what I've typed in for this, but let's just say it was a lady in a kitchen talking to a giant spider set in 1978 with a whatever the camera lens, it was old Leica camera lens, and all these different things that you list off, and then you get the image, and then you can sort of tamper with it a little, as much as you want, I guess, but like to the point where it's okay, and you add sort of grain and you grade it and everything. And I mean, I kind of sort of stopped doing this a little bit now because I'd rather put the story behind it and add, turn it into something a bit more than just the picture itself, because you're not, for me, well, now as this stuff has progressed so far, and now it's anyone's game. Anyone can use this stuff. At the beginning, it was almost like, when there was only a few of us using it, it was almost like a weird sorcery, like you're creating these fantastic images, and no one knew how they were coming about. But now it's like, oh, okay, that's just AI. Fuck it, it's going. So it's but I think if you put your own spin on it, and you adapt it and change it and work it into something else, then you have you can sort of say it's yours a little bit more. I think you feel, well, I do, certainly I feel slightly less of a hack in showing stuff that, because I can't say I made this really. I mean, I typed in a bunch of words and I corrected the photo a bit with some filters or whatever, but it's not, I can't really say I made this. I mean, I put my name on it only because people have taken stuff and and posted it around, and I think, well, if it's got my website on it, then I can, I might get some work from it. Blah, blah, blah.
So are the images actually, that's, I guess I don't know, is like the program that you're using, and I'm sorry, what's the program that is the
there's a few. This one's Midjourney, I think. Yeah.
So does Midjourney just have, like, if you go on to them and you've got their app or whatever their program, do they just have this massive library that they hold of this imagery? And
I don't know how it works, but I assume that it's just been sourced from all over the place. I couldn't give you a definitive answer, and I probably should know this, but I think it's just pulled from left, right, and center, because you can, you could type in, Clint Eastwood sitting on a giant rabbit or whatever. And then you'd get a picture of Clint Eastwood. So obviously they're finding pictures of Clint Eastwood. From Getty or whatever they're linked up to. I don't know the inner workings of their.
I don't think anybody does. If you did, you'd be in the Illuminati. Like, it's magic. It's literally Terminator.
They're the ones.
I think it's constantly sort of learning, and they say it's learning. Constantly.
Here's a picture of the Illuminati as we speak.
That's there you go. Good point.
This is one of the things, like in the I don't know what description. I think that's the part where this makes it uniquely yours. I think one of the things that AI, it's anyone can do it, but people, you look at your stuff, and I'll be scrolling or whatever, right? And I'll be like, that is Douggy's. I wouldn't even have to because you can tell. I agree. You know what I mean? So I'd say that there is some artistry behind it when you're always kind of putting in the extra effort via. Like I guess you're doing this in Photoshop, and you're making it and making it your own. I think there's something to that for sure. Plus, it's just this stuff coming out of your head too, which is even better.
Yeah, I'm sort of constantly fighting that. But you
were also one of the pioneers as far as people that were really diving into what it was capable of, right? So, like, your style stands out above some random person. I mean, I've done it. I've tried and typed in a couple of words and just been like, that's shit. Yeah. And that took 5 minutes for that thing to process. That was dog shit. Like, I could have drawn that up. But yours is so well thought out, and then the stories,
pumpkins, Dever.
Dude, it was something silly like that too. Like, this will be a no-brainer, and I'm like, this is my eyes can't even focus on it. Half that shit's all blurry. Why does that thing got 9 fingers?
Yeah. When it looks too, I always prefer doing stuff that looks like it's from another world, long way back. Not I think if you type in just generally, if you typed in, I don't know, the alien coming out of a spaceship, yeah, whatever, the general default will come out looking very sharp and clear and CGI looking, and it will look a bit very crisp. But I tend to prefer it when it looks like an old photograph that's been found in a drawer somewhere, and
Yes,
it has a bit more I don't know,
stylized.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
The filtering on this, like on the edges and stuff, it's got that very 70s kind of Instamatic, Kodak camera,
Totally.
110 film feel to it. Is that something you're doing after the fact, or
some of them, yeah. This one,
the lens flare there, or the light leak in the camera, and
yeah, like you can get that effect from it, obviously, if you do type in, like light leaks, and you type in certain old, and you could put in old like old crappy Japanese toy camera makes, like Holger and whatever the other ones were. There's a whole bunch of, but you can type in all, I mean, you can't really stump it. It's it will give you the what you've put in. So but
do you have like when I'm sorry, when you're doing a piece like this, is it something you've got an idea or maybe even a sketch where you keep on doing the prompts until you're kind of getting what you want? Like you're saying, it's like the filtered edges, or the rough feathered edges of a photograph, or light leaks, or
you're constantly adding to it and taking away and doing variations, and there's a lot of different settings in it now that there wasn't before, and so you can run out, you can run out millions of them if you've got the time to do it, but you can do a whole bunch of these things, and then that's what I tend to do. Is if I'm doing particularly one of the films, you do like 100 different pictures, and then you choose the 5 good ones that are really, that really work. And then you do the animations, and then you do 100 of those, and then you choose the 5 good ones of those that really work. So you're really just sort of like making a real massive library of what is ultimately garbage, but then you pick the good stuff, which is very far and few between, and then you make the clip or whatever it is you're making. But I mean, it's so good now that you can get stuff to this, to a high quality and high standard quite quickly.
Yeah, and you can use a pun. You can use a play on words like you do really well.
I love this.
Yeah.
It's disgusting, by the way. Well done.
Yeah.
Good old. He doesn't get too bothered with his projectile vomiting.
Yeah, he's happy enough.
You know what I think is the most remarkable thing about this is he's got four fingers and a thumb. It's like,
it actually
I think they fixed
the algorithm didn't give him an extra finger.
Yeah,
that's I did a little bit of researching yesterday and today, and it was like that's the one thing that everybody's always saying is AI is having the hardest time with people, especially with hands. Which is interesting because every artist you ever talk to going back, whatever, hands are the most difficult thing to do.
Yeah, you see those old paintings by them. Well, not the masters because they knew what they were doing, but you go into an old gallery, all the sort of the regal kings and queens and stuff. They've all got their arms behind their back.
Their
hands in their pockets.
Right. That was extra. You want the hands in there? That's extra.
Yeah, that'll take me another month.
So not only do traditional practical artists have difficulty with hands, so does AI.
See that?
So we have that in common.
I believe they kicked in, laughed Susie.
That's a great T-shirt right there. I got to be honest.
These almost really good T-shirts.
Oh, you do have T-shirts?
No, they almost were T-shirts. These were well, this was an idea that I was working on with a company called Ripple Junction, who do a lot of T-shirts, and did a whole bunch of these, and it just never went anywhere. But that was the idea. So yeah, you
got 2 customers right here. Tell Ripple Junction, right?
I'll swap them for a fridge magnet.
There we go.
All right. I'll send you 2. I'll send you 3.
I'll send you actual pumpkin. Yeah.
Matt'll put himself in a suitcase and come over and get it in person.
I like this one. This.
No, look, I'll see what I did. Oh shit.
But like this part, I mean, I think we've got a couple of these, if I recall. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is so
Yeah.
good.
They're so like beautifully done. I mean, I know that you can look at this and go, okay, that's AI, obviously. But when it comes to like the humor behind it and the thought behind it, it's you just can't come out of thin air. This has to happen by somebody's effort.
I wouldn't even think it is AI. I would almost think it's like a really, really good
well-behaved wolf.
They got the dog to stand or the wolf to stand up really still and put this
right. It's just like a National Geographic photo. Dude, they can get monkeys to do shit. They can get wolves.
Oh, that's an actual book. That's nothing to do with me.
Oh, I thought it was hilarious. I thought dude, if I saw this,
humor though. I mean, this was
I went to we was in an antiques place with my brother-in-law, and we saw this book, and he got it. He secretly went back and got it for me for Christmas. But it's not a joke. It's a full color photo.
God.
How to make a coffin in the most infinite detail, the hinges.
It's not any coffin, Dougie.
Yeah,
no, fancy coffin.
When I saw it, I giggled because I'm like, this guy thinks of everything. Like,
we got a fan of the book here.
Hey, John, what's up, man? John is an artist for Red Dead Redemption for Rockstar. He knows. He's a big video game guy.
Yeah, he could probably create a coffin for us.
Yeah, and animate it and throw it in a video game that we'll spend 50 hours on because we think it's so beautiful and such a
Yeah, I love this.
You crossed the line.
I love this because tonight's theme is Jim Henson, and then here we are.
Yeah, leave that picture up for the next how much left we got in the show.
I get the feeling tonight we're all going to cross that line with the prompt that we got.
I know he's ashamed. That's the part that's like killing me right now.
I've crossed movies like 8 times. I went from like Sesame Street to Labyrinth, and then back to like Fraggle Rock. I can't settle on anything, so I'm kind of sticking in the middle.
Are you doing a Bert, Paul?
No, I was going to do a bird at first because it's the perfect shape for a bird.
Yeah,
that's a softball. I can't just. You can't, that's. I mean, and if to do that, I wouldn't have to carve. I'd actually cut pieces out and put them on. Yeah, I'd slice in a mouth, and that would have been the end of it. Then I was going to go Sweetums, and then I'm like, no, it's a bird head. It's not a Sweetums head.
It was like a Salmon Friends or something. Is it one of those early ones?
Oh yeah. Or, remember his babies? The just little.
Yes. The dots. Yeah.
What, the dozers?
Well, yeah, kind of like the dozers. Yeah, just the round black eyes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I'm leaning. There's a different direction I'm going.
All right.
It might be X-rated. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's a shame, Paul.
It's a Douggy Pledger version of
shame. Don't forget. Yeah, and I always wonder. I mean, like from a copyright perspective, you've got to probably be kind of skirting the line. I imagine people are like, wait a minute, that is a mutant Ninja Turtle. Getting a brain out of that. Maybe
that's Krang.
Oh yeah,
well, yeah. That didn't. That one didn't work. I couldn't get that joke to work in AI, so I had to get a photograph of the action figure of the Krang thing, whatever it's called.
Oh,
and then join it up because I couldn't get and then that thing and the pizza that was.
He's got his pizza.
Isn't that Krang? I thought his name was Krang. He was the boss.
But that's about 6 different photographs. But I gave up after a while. I was like, is this funny? Am I spending a day doing this fucking rubbish?
Yeah. But it seems like you've got this. I mean, now you have a full-time job, but then but with what you crank out, I mean, I assume you just come home and just start, plugging away. I don't know. I think Paul's onto something. There's probably 1 or 2 more hours in the day in England than there are.
I think so. I think it's a 26-hour day in the UK.
Isn't it? Lucky.
The thing is, you can with the with the drawings and stuff you were showing at the very beginning, that would take me long time, and especially those squiggly ones, that would take months. But with the AI stuff, you can sort of
I love that.
that's ashamed. You can turn it around so quickly, and I think that's probably.
Oh, that's true. Okay, you can tweak it. And,
yeah, it's like, well, I don't know. It's
Do your kids come up with ideas for you? Because I imagine
the next thing I want to do is was talking about it today actually. My 8-year-old, she wants to do she was talking about making a YouTube channel, which we're going to try and do and put all of her stop motion animation films on.
Oh, awesome.
So that's the next thing I want to do, and I want to so just go to town on that. So she's making all these little animations and things.
I love it.
But when you do get it up, let us know. We'll make sure we throw it up there for everybody to hear about.
Yeah, she's great. She's drawing and painting all the time. It's brilliant.
Speaking of painting, fall. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is great.
Jesus,
we get to see this guy earlier today. From
I can go and get him. Hang on.
Yeah, get him. So
okay.
So Ted, this is I'll let Douggy explain it better than me because I'm a Neanderthal, but this is a 3D print, right?
Yes, it is. Hang on 1 second. I'll go and get him.
And then Doug had to paint it. Damn, that's a lot of paint.
It feels a little bit. I spent a couple of months on set for Goosebumps 2. It feels a little bit like Slappy, the ventriloquist dummy, or.
It's funny you should say that because the guy who made the blah, blah, blah.
Goosebumps.
No. He had no connection with it, but he made a sculpt of the Slappy puppet. The head. He's this guy called what's he called? Makin Singh, I think, guy in India. But he made the mold. What do you call it?
File.
3D file. Yeah.
Oh, 3D file. Okay.
So that's him.
So creepy and awesome.
Nice.
That's
the upper lip. The upper lip moves, Ted. Look at this.
That's great.
His eyes go.
Now, is this modeled after Slappy, or is this?
No, this is the character Fats from the film
Magic, right?
Magic, yeah.
Anthony Hopkins.
That's
nice, Ted.
No, I saw Magic when I was a kid. I mean, that was when I was a teenager, and I was fascinated with ventriloquist dummies. And I'd seen this earlier on your page, and just was like, oh, that's from Magic.
Yeah, yeah,
fantastic.
It's such a good dummy. The one in the film is.
I love the film.
It's really good. And when I saw he had made one, I got the file, and my friend Ben Best, who does a lot of stuff in film and television, does a lot of Star Wars stuff. Actually, he's got he's got a lot of 3D printers and all sorts of bits and pieces. But so he ran me off a copy of that, and then I slowly spent a few weeks sanding it down and priming it and painting it and airbrushing it, and it took up a lot of time, but it was good fun.
Yeah. Is that going to be? This is for you or for somebody else?
No, it's for me. It sits on the
excellent
in the other room. He the guy who they printed it for me though, Brian Best. You should look up his stuff. He makes replicas of the Gizmos and Gremlins. Gizmos.
I know that name. Yeah.
He's there, and they're screen accurate and perfect. And he's even gone to the. I think he lost his mind a bit, but he went. He recreated Billy's bedroom from the film. So he created.
Oh wow!
He got he made the car.
Oh my God!
Drives, and he even printed out the bed sheets on Billy's bed, and he got all the comics, and he got the crash helmet, and all of the. He just went to town on it, and if you look on his, I think it's called the Peltzer Project. No, the Peltzer. Oh God!
Well, I found on Instagram Brian Best Effects.
Yeah, Brian Best. Yeah, and it's the Peltzer something or other.
I'll definitely look him up.
But his stuff is just like total knockout. It's brilliant.
Nice. Shout out to Brian.
Yeah, he's very good.
We got a few more things to show you guys, and I think we're just touching on a couple of them real quick before our time is up, which is actually.
I wish I had put more photos from this book. It's awesome. I love when he becomes friends with a dead frog, but he can't be friends with a dead frog because that's just not cool or whatever it was, like something like that. Like, that don't fly, mate.
Yeah,
it's the funniest book. I want to give it to a child and just watch them soak it in.
Exactly. I'm gonna rehash Johnny Carbone's thing here. There we go. Yeah, it's a great book. See,
that's a great book.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, we got a few more things, including this amazing.
This one got me. I love it.
The Hungry Hippos.
I want this. If I had young kids, I would put this on my wall.
It's like a great. That's a framer.
Yeah. Middle of eating it.
What do you do with Operation though?
Oh yeah, make it
isn't it? Yeah.
Shoot some ladders.
Yeah.
See, that's great too.
When life gets on top of you, rodeo. Yeah, I mean, just and the fact that it looks like it's a. Whoops, sorry, I'm going too fast. What am I doing here?
At home,
it does look like something you'd see in a Pixar movie. Like this would be like.
I think there's a trend now of making these.
Yes, I saw some really. I mean, talk about you think you cross a line. These people crossed a continent. But that's where the funny is, right? You got to be able to realize it's just a joke.
Yeah.
A lot of people can't realize.
School run, housework, more bloody housework, aimlessly checking phone at home.
It's so good, Dougie. I love it.
Screaming his despair. Ouija
peasy.
Available with Stronzo toys, which is like my favorite. I love how the kids look just extremely creepy. Like there's something really wrong with all of them.
Oh God, yeah.
Right, like they were born in the late 60s, early 70s.
Right.
Hey, look at that.
Something going on there.
Now I'm guessing is this partly an AI piece as well?
Yeah, bits and pieces.
Because I'm looking at the kids' hands.
The kids are, yeah.
Oh, he's got the double hands.
There's the fella in the middle has got what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4.5 fingers.
Probably a thumb in there.
The other kid looked like he caught his hand in a blender.
Do you think the world is over? Do you think we know the machines have won when they figure out how to do 5 digits on each hand?
I think you can now. This was last year, so yeah, I think
they figured it out since then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Sadly,
it's over.
Yeah,
it's all over.
We're doomed.
Speaking of all over, I hate to say it, I don't want to be this guy, but this is where we've gone over time. We could spend another 2 hours with Dougie.
Oh my God, I could spend a week with Dougie. You kidding me?
He gets so much damn stuff. Oh my God. Anyway, so do yourself a favor, go check him out. Dougie, is there any other place we can find all of your work? I mean, Wrong in the Head, go get it. Check him out on Instagram. Any other place?
No, I think it's all on my website. I mean, yeah.
There you go.
So there's enough there to keep you busy.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think you need anything.
Pick up the book. Pick up Wrong in the Head.
It's ridiculously good.
Yeah. It'll make you right. It'll make you right in the head.
Right.
You'll get a good chuckle out of it. It is such a funny book.
Hang on. One last comment here. Dean Armstrong.
Dean Armstrong. Hello, Dean.
Oh,
thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Love it. Love it. And then, of course, this is where you can find us. Paul, you want to send us off?
Sure, I'll send us off. Well, first of all, thank you, Dougie, for joining us. Even though you're sick, even though it's the middle of the night, I mean, you're a trooper. We're so happy to have you back. It was a long time coming.
It was fun. Thank you. Thank you. Nice to see you again.
Oh,
Good to meet you, Dougie.
Thank you. Yeah, you too.
You're one of my sunny moments whenever I flip around on the internet and I see something of yours come up. I always get a good laugh out of it. It's so well done. You're such a funny guy. And we'd love to have you back.
Yeah, anytime, whenever you want.
Maybe we'll do it on a Sunday, so it's like the afternoon for you. You know, so we don't have to keep you up so late.
We'll get up early and drink mimosas.
Right. No,
okay, I'm off work this week. It's fine. I don't have to get up.
Good for you. Well, we didn't wake the kids, hopefully, but
no.
So we'll do it again. But for us, thank you to everybody watching tonight. And guess what? We'll be back again next week with another Carvers and Creators. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Have a good night.
Good night, y'all.
Good night, guys. Have a good night.
Bye.